we'll just start with some introductions. From my side, I am Remo. I've been with BSG for just over 10 years, in consulting for just over 13 years, one of the senior consultants that's looking after the graduate recruitment as well as the graduate development program within the organization. I'll just fire off to the rest of the team to also introduce themselves before we get started.
Cool, I'm Ray. Nice to meet you guys. I'm one of the lead consultants at BSG, and I've been here for about 4 years, going on to 5 years. Cool.
Zoe, you can go next.
So I'll go after you.
Okay, cool. Hi guys, I'm Zoe. Welcome to the session. I'm part of the People Effectiveness team in organizations known as the Human Resource Department team. And yeah, I will be joining you guys in the background. I hope you guys enjoy the session today. Cool.
Hi guys, nice to meet all of you. My name is Andile and I'm a consultant, no lead or senior to it. And I've been at BSG for the past 4 to 5 months. So yeah, last year I was just in honors just like the rest of you. So happy and excited to share my experiences so far and just to engage with you guys further.
Hi, I'm Barbara. I'm part of the marketing team here at BSG. So I'm involved in just kind of showcasing what we do from a graduate recruitment perspective. So yeah, pretty cool to engage with you all today.
Okay, perfect. So we'll get right into it. So I don't know if anyone has heard about the Simon Sinek Start with the Why video. Has anyone come across that? You can use the chat to share if anyone has heard or seen it. Or anything to do with the golden circle?
I get a few no's there in the chat, Remo.
Okay.
A few yeses as well.
All right. So we also share the video with you guys after the presentation, but the Simon Sinek video basically is focused around starting with and how this is also aligned to biology. He uses the principle of the golden circle with the why kind of being the core of the circle, and then moving out into the how, and finally the what. And the example that he uses is around like great leaders like Martin Luther King, the Wright brothers, as well from the aviation space. And I think more applicable to kind of the industry that we find ourselves in with Apple. How Apple has become one of the leaders when it comes to tech devices, and has overtaken a lot of other manufacturers in the market. And the common thread that he identifies kind of with all these individuals and organizations is how they're able to start with their why and not the what. And that's basically because I think most of us find ourselves that we know what it is that we need to do. It kind of becomes a part of our subconscious mind, but you find that only a few understand how to do it, and even fewer then understand why they need to do what they're doing. Most of the organizations, you'll hear them saying that they're doing things the way they're doing it because they want to make more money. But that's more the result, actually, and not necessarily the why. It doesn't really talk to the cause or belief, which is what the why is about. Basically the reason for existing. So this is what then differentiates leaders and organizations, when you kind of have an inward to outward focus, because by understanding your why, then you're better able to define your how and the what, regardless of the size of your organization, regardless of the industry that you're operating in. So this is kind of a common thread that Simon Sinek identifies with these individuals. And the reason for this is basically because people buy into your why, not necessarily the what, because I think if they were buying the what, then they could choose any other manufacturer or organization that provides the same service or product. You can have two companies that are giving exactly the same product, but one individual will choose A, another one will choose B, and that is primarily driven by the why around it, and also individuals believing in what you believe in. If you can create visibility and sell what you believe in, then individuals buy into that and not necessarily the product. So that's kind of what the Simon Sinek starting with the why video is about. So from an individual perspective, which kind of starts then talking to understanding what you as an individual are about, which will inform you becoming a better consultant, is understanding your own personal why. As I mentioned earlier, from my perspective, I've been working for just over 13 years, but I have not known my why for the past 13 years. I would say it's only about 6 years ago, really, that I came across this for the first time, and it got me thinking that what is your purpose for existing, Remo? And it's not an answer I was able to get to immediately. It's a journey I actually walked to eventually get to the answer that I just want people to be the best that they can be through my contribution and assistance that I can provide to them. It took me about 2 years to get to that answer, and in that 2 years, even though I didn't have the answer, it kind of provided direction into why I'm doing what I'm doing, and I became more conscious of it in terms of my actions that I was taking to take these actions with the direction of getting to an answer. So maybe what we can do is get a few of you guys to share your why. What we're going to do is use something that's a bit interactive to understand what your why is. And an interesting observation is we're kind of going to build a word cloud that's going to take common words that are going to come across from this. Ray, I'm going to hand over to you to take us through that.
Awesome. Can you guys all see my screen? It's divided in half, and it has like a go-to-menti.com on one side and a QR code on the other side. Can you guys see it?
I'm getting a few yeses here, right? Yeah.
Awesome, perfect. So if you guys can please either go to this website, www.menti.com, and put in this barcode, put in this code, or scan the QR code. And Zoe, maybe you can just check the chat for me. As soon as we have all thumbs up and everyone's in, we can then start with the exercise. Everything working? Everyone okay?
Check says working. Okay, a few saying it's working fine.
Cool, perfect. Let's actually start with this. So I'm going to hide the results for now. And we're going to go, Remo, what, 2 minutes, 3 minutes? We're just going to ask you guys to describe your personal why in 5 words. Just jot down whatever comes to your mind. And we're just going to chat through a few of them at the end. How long should we have, Remo? 2 minutes?
We can give it about 2 minutes, right?
Awesome, perfect, thanks.
I'm not sure if there's a problem, but it's only allowing me to type 3 words.
If you type in multiple answers.
I'm trying to type 5 words, but then it's only allowing me to type 3.
I think there might be a restriction in the number of letters that you actually use. If they're 3 long words, then it might not work.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Sorry.
there's a character count limit on it.
You can submit multiple times.
Okay, I will rephrase things.
Okay. Okay, we've got just under a minute left. How are the responses coming along, Ray?
Sorry, couldn't unmute there. Looks like we have 26 responses in.
Perfect. Okay, just over 30 seconds left. I feel like I'm counting down minutes to win it.
We should like have a dramatic buzzer sound at the end, and like, well, now it's too late.
Voting is now closed. Let's look at the results. Wow.
Wow.
Okay, cool. So this is quite diverse and encouraging. I'm seeing a few here: to help others, collaborate, to solve problems, to be a historic icon, porn in capitalism, exposure, passion, to do good, problem solving. Does anyone maybe want to talk us through their own personal why? Create, enjoy money.
To be a historic icon for me is like, it's standing out. It's amazing.
Stands out, eh?
Like, I wish I had thought of that.
Does the person maybe that put that in want to talk us through that?
I can. I don't know. It's hard to sum it up in 5 words, but I think all of us here want to be an agent for change, and I think everyone wants to kind of leave a legacy for themselves, and that's something I am really passionate about. So it's kind of I want to do good, but also be remembered for it.
Well, thanks for sharing that, Shavant. Else wanna share theirs? Okay, cool. I think that's fine. But I really love this word cloud because it shows that we're all driven by different whys. But I think what stands out the most is probably majority of these
Numbers, because red is in the
other people, which really reiterates the agent for change that Shavant has mentioned. I'm just going to go back to the presentation. So I think, in the same light that we've got our own personal personal why. From a BSG perspective, we also have our own why as an organization, and that we believe in being a proactive force for positive change. We are a proudly homegrown South African company, started in SA, started by South Africans, and that's where we want to create that positive change within our country and within Africa. And how we do that is kind of by thinking differently, by helping our clients to solve their most important problems to their clients and their customers. What we do to create this positive change, we help our clients to be able to give their customers what they need through our inside or data-led problem solving principles. In creating our positive change, we kind of unlock the potential that each of our clients have and help them in accelerating their performance in order to be able to meet those customer needs. In us doing that, we've got different capabilities within our organization that drive that through our business strategy execution that kind of looks at the bigger picture umbrella. We then have our analysis and design capability, software development, tech strategy. There is kind of alignment between business and tech, and our strategy focus is on both. I think what's become more important is probably data science, understanding what data you have, so that you can kind of inform what your customer or client needs are, solving their problems before they identify that they've got a problem, so if I can put it that way, and also making sure that you're then able to deliver on those projects effectively through our delivery management capability.
Things are rough.
The manner in which we structure our project is dynamic and changing. You wouldn't find the same project structure and same project roles with each of the projects and the customers and our clients. So what we try to do is first understand what it is that our clients are wanting us to solve for them. And then based on that, we kind of create a multi-skilled delivery team that will encompass more than one of the areas, the capabilities that I've spoken to. So we kind of combine those different skills to help our clients deliver better. So you'll find that on certain projects, you'll have a combination of business strategy, analysis, and software development. On another, you'll have data science and analysis. So we structure it based on our customer needs to be able to deliver effectively on that. So what does it take for you as an individual to be able to create this positive change? We talk of what we term the T-shaped consultant, which looks at the depth of knowledge and the breadth of expertise. So you will find that as you start working, you'll have more depth of knowledge than breadth, and the knowledge will be driven by the fact that you've kind of spent the past 4 years in university learning certain theory. Then the breadth of expertise is then how do you get into the working world and start applying those expertise. So we'll just spend a minute. So the question that I want to pose to you guys is, what do you believe are the critical skills that makes up this T-shaped consultant when you start working? So we're gonna do one more poll. So Ray, can you just share your screen on your side, and then we will start answering that question. So the question is, what do you think makes a T-shaped consultant from a skills perspective?
Guys, so using the same Menti platform that we used just now, you'll see there's a little thing that says the presenter has changed the slide. So if you just go to the next slide, you'll be able to answer this question. If you had already gone out, just join again, use menti.com, and the code is 981258. Start a countdown.
Okay.
Seconds to go. Okay, cool guys, voting is closed. Let's show the results. These are such great answers, Remo. Do you want to go through them?
Yeah, let's have a look. Ability to empathize and put yourselves in the position of the business. By doing so, we can envision the problem they face and be able to advise effectively. That is very powerful. I think once it becomes more of a two-way relationship once you are able to empathize with your client. Comfortable with working in different types of situations, real world experience, communication analysis and critical thinking, someone who is well versed in their area of business, knowledgeable, can analyze, good communication coming through there as well, experience and knowledge. There's a lot of knowledge. Knowledgeable, compassionate and expertise, empathetic, listening, thinking. I like the fact that there's a combination of soft skills and hard skills that is thanks for that display, Ray, that has come through from this. Let me just go back to the presentation, because that is one of the most critical things, being able to have both. It's a combination of both the soft and hard skills. There's no point kind of having the best technical skills if you're not able to communicate effectively and engage with your team effectively for you to be able to use those skills. So some of the key ones that we've got highlighted here, which I think have come through quite a lot in that word cloud, is interpersonal and communication skills, problem solving and strategic planning, business analytics skills, financial and management control skills, and also being able to lead those within a team. Quite passionate about this one, leading within your team, because I think often we think that you need to be a leader in order to be able to lead others, and this one highlights that even within your own sphere of control and ecosystem, you are still able to lead, because then through leading you're able to inspire others. To me, leadership is about inspiration and not necessarily the position of power that you or superior delegation that you hold. So I think the key thing with being a T-shaped consultant also is the benefits that go with it, because if you're able to expand then on your breadth of expertise and your depth of knowledge, is that you're able to interact more effectively with this multi-skilled team that you will find yourself in, because you've been exposed to different environments, different situations. You're then able to come up with mechanisms that are your own in being able to adapt and still being able to be solution orientated within that. And I think eventually then it puts you in a position where you're able to become trusted within your own knowledge space, and within your own practical experience that come with that. Any questions that you guys have around that?
Sorry, Maswa Bongile had a hand up, so I don't know if you want to ask a question.
Thank you, Andil. I was just wondering, would you say the skills that you've listed, they are all equally important, or would you rate them in some order from your experience working in the field?
I think they are, for me, what I've experienced is that they're all equally important. Different projects will call on different skills, but I think by being able to have a broad range, you are then able to kind of adapt better. So I would say they are all equally important than being able to rather ranking them in terms of importance.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
Okay. Any other questions, guys? All right. I'm going to move on to the next slide. So the previous slide, I kind of spoke about the hard and soft, the soft skills, and these you will typically get through kind of your formal training that we provide in our graduate development program. But in addition to that, what we also then promote is self-learning. How do you then equip yourself better? The question we normally ask is, do we think robots are going to take over management consulting and business analysts? And the answer to that is it's highly unlikely. So then, how do you as an individual start differentiating yourself amongst everyone else that's offering kind of the same technical skills that you've got, that's got the same soft skills that you've got? And what we encourage then is, how do you then improve on your own self-study? So how do you keep relevant by doing online courses that are available on platforms such as edX, Coursera, and things like that. At the moment, we are encouraging a lot of our guys to kind of start identifying those. There's been a lot of Azure training that's been happening, SQL training, as well as like Power BI. How do you present effectively to your clients? So also then using the context of your client environment to understand, how do I better equip myself in order for me to be able to help my clients? So I guess it's about how fast or slow do you want to build those skills on your side. Leading onto that as well is also being able to balance your life. Your life is not all about work. There's family, there are hobbies that you are involved in. So how do you kind of play that balance between the three? So I'll hand over to Ray to take us through through kind of our gratitude and happiness principles and some of the tips that we want to share with you guys in terms of studying from home.
Awesome, thank you, Remo. Cool, guys. So I'm just going to start off by talking through this video that we generally like to share, but I think we are going to send the link out afterwards. And this video is called Gratitude. It's by a man named Louis Schwartzberg. And it's an incredibly powerful video that's so grounding, and it puts things into perspective for us. So Louis is a time-lapse photographer, and in this video he says that when he started out he didn't have a lot of money, but he had time and he had a sense of wonder. So he started shooting time-lapse photography, focusing on flowers continuously for over 30 years. And to see them move is a dance that he'll never get tired of. Beauty and seduction is nature's tools for survival, because funny enough, we protect what we fall in love with. He says that it opens our hearts and makes us realize that we are a part of nature and we're not separate from it. When we see ourselves in nature, it also connects us to each other, because it's all clear that we are connected to one. Did you know that 80% of the information we receive comes through our eyes? Aren't we grateful for our brains that can take this electrical impulse that comes from light energy to create images in order for us to explore our world? And aren't we grateful that we have hearts that can feel these vibrations in order for us to allow ourselves to feel the pleasure and the beauty of nature? He goes on to say that nature's beauty is a gift that cultivates appreciation and gratitude. And he is working on this project called Happiness Revealed. And it basically shows us a glimpse into different perspectives, one from the view of a child and another one from an older man. What the child basically says is that when she watches TV, she just sees some shows that are pretend. But when you can go out and explore and your imagination grows and you want to learn more and know more, you can discover beautiful things. And then the old man asks, do you think that this is just another day in your life? No, it's not just another day. It's the one day that is given to you today. It's a gift, and it's the only gift that you have right now. And the only appropriate response to this is gratefulness. If you do nothing else but to cultivate that response to the great gift that this unique day is, if you learn to respond as if it was the first day of your life, as well as the very last day of your life, then you would have spent this day very well. He goes on to say that if you begin opening your eyes, you need to be surprised that you actually have eyes that you can open. Look at the sky and notice how different it is from moment to moment, with clouds coming and going. Think of the weather and realize that this day, right now, has unique weather, maybe a kind that will never exactly come in this form again. The formation of the clouds in the sky will never be the same as it is right now. Open your eyes. Look at that. Look at the faces of the different people you meet. Each one has an incredible story behind their face, a story that you could never fully fathom. But not only their own story, but the story of their ancestors. Open your heart to the incredible gifts that civilization gives to us. You flip a switch and there is electric light. You turn on a tap and there is warm water and cold water and drinkable water. It's a gift that millions and millions in this world will never experience. And these are just a few of an enormous number of gifts that which we open our hearts to. And we need to open our hearts to all of these blessings and let the gratefulness overflow into blessings all around us. And then it will really be a good day. So that's a really, really powerful video that we're going to share the link with. And we just want to take some time to actually reflect on this. So when Louis started his journey, what did he actually have? He tells us that he didn't have much. And then I want you guys to take some time and think about, what are you grateful for? What are the little things that you wake up and appreciate every day? How do you connect with nature? How do you go about approaching every day? Remo, I don't know if we have some time to actually go through answers. Maybe just let us know. Remo?
Sorry guys, I was muted. I think if the guys can share maybe a couple of their thoughts on the chat, that's also fine.
Cool. Does anyone want to tell us, like, what are you grateful for? How do you approach every day? It's quite a deep question, I know. Okay, so we have comments coming through. Yay. So Remo says that she's grateful for a roof over her head and she has food and a loving family. I see there's another one that says given another day, and that's amazing. Learning opportunities. Having all the opportunities I do in multiple aspects of life. If we don't take a minute to actually stop and appreciate all of this, I don't think we quite fully comprehend how far we've come. Each day is a new opportunity to do what you love, definitely. Grateful for my family and that they are healthy, especially in these times. That's so incredible. Barb says that in her family, she ends off each day by sharing 3 things that they are grateful for. Sometimes it's as simple as being grateful for warm blankets. In other days, it's deeper and less tangible. That's incredible, guys. Thank you for sharing. Cool, should we move on to the next one? Andile, I think I'm handing over to you.
I think your mic is muted.
Thank you very much. That's quite done. I'm sorry, I'm one of those people like I sing in meetings, so like rather err on the side of caution because let me share my screen. Please let me know when you guys can see it.
We can see it.
We can see.
So we'll be having a simple exercise to display 5 happiness habits that we're encouraged to practice at BSG. So what we'll be doing together, please feel free to unmute your microphones and shout out answers. I'll be drawing several pictures, so we'll be engaging in a Pictionary kind of exercise so that I'll draw out the happiness habits and then you guys can like shout out or write in the chat what you think the answer is. And I think this gives good insights into 1, your analysis skills, so we'll be flexing that muscle, and then 2, you get to see how we as consultants get to have fun while we're working from home, and lastly, you can see how I would be able to make a second career out of drawing pictures in paint. So I'll give myself like a 20-second countdown and then draw these pictures down, and then we'll have a deliberation as to what it is. Cool, starting now. First habit. Oh my goodness, this is okay.
Is that a man?
Yeah, like, no, it doesn't look like a, I'm right to, okay, I'm out of time, so does anyone have any idea what that is supposed to be?
I feel like that's a man throwing a stick through a window.
We've got something in the chat, journaling.
Oh, yes. Yes, you deserve a high five and a gold star because that is what that is. So one of the happiness habits that we're encouraged to do is journaling, and what this allows you to do is basically just reflect on your day, reflect on your thoughts, and assess how you're feeling. And why that becomes a happiness habit is because you're able to establish how you're feeling in certain parts of the days, what causes your mood and what affects those various moods, especially during these times that we're living in. I mean, it does become very important to reflect back on how you're feeling throughout the day and how your life is progressing. So that's why this is encouraged as a happiness habit. Cool. Let's try another one. So, excuse me, sorry. Next one is, okay, this one should be pretty simple and easy. Okay. My 20 seconds starts now.
Andile, that guy's hair actually looks like yours.
Thank you very much. Like, especially since I've been wanting a haircut so badly, like, you know, like, that makes me... I really should not have used the color red because those look like hearts and that was not the intention. So So, okay, who wants to have a guess at our second happiness habit?
We've got Cupid.
Cupid, yeah.
I mean, yes, love is very important and it does encourage happiness, but no, please try again.
We've got exercise, love, exercise, gym.
That was supposed to be a set of dumbbells, like it's red dumbbells, because red is in the zone, and so it's exercising. And I think this is pretty self-explanatory. I mean, once you exercise, the release of endorphins that keeps you happy and motivated. So this is also encouraged as a happiness habit. Okay, let me go into the third happiness habit that we have. Okay, this is going to be very difficult, but anyway, my 20 seconds starts now. Okay, I really need to stop drawing people. Okay, 20 seconds is up.
Meditation, meditate, yoga, sleep.
Yes. That is our third happiness habit, meditation. And I used to be one of the skeptical ones about why this is a happiness habit until recently. So I had the opportunity through BSG to join a happiness program. And in this happiness program, we're encouraged to take part in a 10-minute meditation session. And I must say, for someone who I overthink things a lot and my mind scatters quite a bit, and I think this is a very good exercise in terms of centering your thoughts as well as bringing yourself towards yourself and just realigning your thoughts for the day. And that really does keep you happy because you become more self-aware of like what's bothering you and how you can basically restructure those thoughts just to gain a sense of order and structure in your life. So that's why meditation is also encouraged as a happiness habit, which is also pretty great. And this is like the proof is in the pudding, and I did try it. So yeah. Okay, let's go on to now. Oof, these ones are difficult. Like, I don't even know how I'm going to start. So I'm just going to draw a bunch of things and then hopefully you guys can like piece the puzzle together. Okay, let's go. Okay, no. Okay, I can't even guess what I drew. So I will walk you guys through the thought process and then we can have a discussion about it. So essentially, this was supposed to be 3 gratitudes, and where I was going with this is the number 3. And then next to it was supposed to be a grater, and then next to it was supposed to be a full glass of water. I was hoping someone was going to get grateful. I know that's a bit of a stretch, so yeah, but 3 gratitudes are very important. And I think also just looking back, I think it's very important to be grateful. Given the circumstances of things, I think a sense of gratitude, centers one, and also, brings in that sense of, as bad as things are, you're grateful for, like people said before, they've got roofs over their head, you're grateful for the health of family. And I think it also just brings in that self-awareness of like, things are rough, but there are always the brighter side of things that we can look forward to. So that's why gratitude is encouraged as a happiness habit. Okay, and then final one. I promise you guys that this is my last drawing that you have to like tolerate.
With each of the projects and the
cool. Sheesh, I don't even know how to start drawing this. I'm gonna wait for 20 seconds to like run out, and then I'm just gonna like tell you guys what it is. Okay, how do you even start with? Jeez. Okay, I'm done. Okay, who wants to have a guess before I reveal what my masterpiece is, like the final happiness habit?
I feel like that's a bunny.
Yeah, show.
That was supposed to be a gift. And that was supposed to be like random act of kindness I was going to give a stranger, but it's definitely not a bunny. But unless, you know, the bunny could be the gift, I guess. But anyway, and that's the last happiness habit, which is random acts of kindness. And I think the reason why this becomes a happiness habit is because I can attest to, I feel a lot happier when I do things for people. I'm a very acts of service driven person, so I do enjoy like just randomly doing things for people. I don't know why, but I think also that brings about a sense of happiness, and it's that release of endorphins as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed my little showcase of my artistic skills and why I could make a second career out of becoming a painter if, you know, consulting decides to take a short left. But yeah, cool. And I hope you guys find ways to implement these happiness habits in your lives going forward.
Thanks for your art, Andile. Stick to consulting.
Okay, cool guys. Then the last bit that I want to talk to you about was some of the tips that we actually found we had to adapt to when working from home. It was a massive challenge and a change for all of us, so I can just imagine how crazy it must have been for you guys to have to now adapt to studying from home. So we found a couple of things that actually help us that we want to share with you. And the first one is set clear expectations. So understand exactly what's expected of you, have a clear vision of what you want to achieve for the day, for the week, know what it is that you're setting out for yourself, so set clear expectations, the first thing you can do. The next one we have is monitor your well-being. And how can you actually do this? So make sure that you're getting enough sleep every day. I know it's easy for us to, you know, just decide to watch Netflix the whole night and then sleep for an hour or two, and then you have to kick off the rest of your day, but don't do that. Make sure you get enough sleep, eat properly, try to do some exercise. Andile and his love dumbbells taught us a little bit about that. And then we say that a healthy body is a healthy mind. Number 3, create a plan. This for me was so important because I can just go off on tangents, but creating a plan, using a timetable, knowing what you want to do when, try to structure your day that way, use a timer, similarly to how lectures work, where you have like 45-minute lectures, a little bit of a break, and then you have your next one. Try to do something similarly here. Make sure you use these breaks really well. So take a walk outside in the sun, get some fresh air, just breathe, relax. You can slot in some 10-minute meditation there. It's really good for you. The next one is have a routine. And how can you do this? So using your plan, you can actually create a routine that works for you based on your productivity. The fortunate part is that I know some of us are night out, and now you don't have to study during the day. You can work at night, do something that actually works for you. If you have household chores, try to get them done in the morning. You can use lunchtime meditation. That works. Remo, we've lost you.
I don't know what happened there.
Okay, and then if you had some extra time that you would spend traveling to university, you now have more times to actually do stuff. So you can do stuff that you actually enjoy doing, like exercising, baking, meditating, and that type of thing. And the last point that we had was keep connected. And I think this is so important. So actively engage with your peers, your lecturers, find different ways of staying in touch. So what we do sometimes is we actually play games, like Andile just showed you guys. We play Pictionary virtually all the time. We started playing 30 seconds. We play Heads Up. Just be in touch with your friends, your family, follow up on people, make sure they're okay, make sure you're okay. And just because we're all sitting in isolation doesn't mean that we need to be alone. Cool, I think that's it from here.
Do you guys maybe want to share in terms of what has worked for you guys so far? You can unmute if you want, or also use the chat.
Hi, sorry, I don't know if you can hear me, but my thing for sure has just been keeping in contact with friends and making sure that all the group projects are in, like, we speak in person and that we have these calls, just so that it doesn't feel so hectically different to campus, which it obviously is. And it's obviously quite sad, but I'm sure we'll get to be there soon. But yeah, that's what I do.
Wonderful. Anyone else?
I see we have a comment from Amar saying pulling all-nighters and sleeping all days. I swear if I didn't have a day job, I would be doing the same thing.
Okay, cool. I think if there's no one else, then we can move on to Andile.
Cool. So on your screen, you guys should be seeing like two random like percentages. So just to gauge, does anyone have any idea what those percentages potentially represent?
The music being an artist.
Ooh. I think that if it's a possibility, it would be a bit higher because like my drawing skills, it's abstract art. You just had to like tilt your head and bend the screen a bit and then you'd see it. But anyway, any guesses from anyone? No?
We have a comment from Shivan saying honest students.
Oh, okay.
This
Wow.
is him. Yeah.
Have you been in this presentation before? Because wow, that takes a wow factor. But we live in a country of millions and millions of people. And with that being said, these numbers represent, on the top you see 2.4% are postgraduate students in the country, and below that 0.6% is people that are STEM honors, so that's science, technology, engineering, and math. So 0.6% are the number of students that are STEM honors students currently. And this just speaks to how, I think it also brings into the element of how grateful one should be and how blessed we are with opportunities, because of the millions and millions of people in this country, only thousands get to study at a postgraduate level, and even smaller number of people that are studying at a STEM honors level going forward. So yeah, that's what those two numbers are all about. Next slide, please. Cool, so a little bit of my personal why and my journey and my story at BSG. So actually, you know, I think I'm gonna turn off my video because that picture is like much better instead of looking at this mess of like, I haven't seen my bob in a while, guys. So my personal why is to be of service in any and all ways that bring about a positive impact in the environment that I'm in. And that speaks to me being an act of service kind of person. So a bit of my personal story with BSG. Just last year, I was an honors student, just like all of you, and I was sitting in class, and here comes the BSG, which is a company that I'd hardly heard of, and they came to give us a guest lecture. And I think from that guest lecture, I was one of the most skeptical people in my honors class, because never had I interacted with so many professionals that were so happy all the time and so engaging and, you know, just like really paying attention to who you are. So I was just like, this is a scam. Like, there's no way that there's that many people that are always happy all the time. Fast forward a few months, I got the opportunity to do my internship with BSG, and that's when I realized that this was where I'd really like to start off my career, because it was at internship that I really did learn that everyone really is that positive, really is that engaged, and everyone really does care about each other the way that they actually portrayed themselves to be caring about us at our guest lecture. So that also fed into my decision, and then I applied, fortunately, and I got in, and I've been working here for the past few months. And it's only been happy times. I mean, the work it does get hectic, but everyone is so supportive, from senior consultants to junior consultants. We don't really believe in hierarchies, and everyone is approachable, and you're able to engage with anyone on a personal level. I mean, I, as a first year, am able to go to the CEO and just talk to him, like Jury will come and have random conversations, ask me about my family. So there is that sense of community, there is that level of engagement where you really do feel like you are a part of something bigger. And above and beyond being a part of something bigger, I think what really drew me to BSG is the opportunity to work for a homegrown firm. Above and beyond being a homegrown firm, BSG is really a true testament of the David and Goliath story. And what I mean by that is, for a very small consulting firm, I think if all of us at the office on any given day, there's less than 200 people. And given those numbers, you know, we do consulting work for large banks with thousands and thousands of employees. and our competitors are your big time consulting firms like your Accentures and your Deloitte. So we really are punching above our weight, but above and beyond punching above our weight, we're getting in a few knocks, and we actually do like sometimes win a few rounds. So that's been pretty great as well. So there's that growth element, because as a first year, you're not there to just, absorb and shadow people. You really put into the forefront of leading change and being a part of positive change. And I think also Remo was talking about being a leader in all spheres and everything. And as a C1, I found that being a manager of myself, I've been given that responsibility of being a leader of myself. And through leading yourself, you learn how to lead others, which is a very important skill to learn, because you have that agile approach of, if I can learn to lead myself, surely I can be responsible for other people, and therefore I'll be responsible for corporations going forward. So you're learning all these lessons at such an early stage in your career. And I think like 4 months in, I've been on several different elements of projects. I've been exposed to different opportunities in terms of various certifications, and above and beyond the consulting work that I do, there are opportunities to do things such as get involved in said communities, which is our socio-economic development community, which is our outreach programs. There are sports teams that you can take a part of. So it really is building a holistic character for a human being. And yeah, I think that's what I'm also, for me personally, it's one of my gratitudes, is that I don't just go to work to wait until 5 o'clock to go home. I'm a part of a family, and these are people that I study with on weekends. These are people that I can talk to about anything and everything. So that's also been great. And yeah, so that's a bit of my story so far. And I know I'm a consultant right now, but like the senior and the lead consultants are still loading, because incremental steps. But that's my journey at this point in time. Thanks.
So anyone have any questions for Andile?
Joe, please ask me anything and everything. I know there's like those hectic questions that you scared to ask for, and that's a really great picture. Look at that guy in the front. Sorry. Please do feel free to ask anything. We really are honest and open, and looking forward to engaging.
There's a question from Jack up there. How to find remote working as a consultant?
Did you get that, Andile?
Sorry, could you please repeat?
Question from Jack. How do you find remote working as a consultant?
Okay. Well, for me personally, the first few weeks of remote working were difficult, and that just speaks to my character, because I'm a social butterfly. I really like feed off people's energy, and I love being in the office. So that was a bit tricky to navigate around. But I think it gives you that balance of sometimes working from home, you have that additional element of focus. So we are able to be more focused, and you do work more consistently, because now you basically work by yourself. I'm one of those people, like I live alone. So like I found my focus levels have grown quite a bit. But above and beyond that, it hasn't been too difficult of a transition, because fortunately, due to technologies like Teams and Zoom and all of that, we're able to still keep in touch. So I find that even though I'm new on a project and I am still finding my feet as a consultant, the support has not changed. I'm still able to reach out to my team leads, my career facilitators, and everyone still does check in to make sure that you're on the right track and you're doing things correctly and that you're just keeping well. So it's been a big transition, definitely, but it has been manageable. I hope that answers your question.
Any other questions, guys?
Sorry, I have a question.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
So I'm just wondering, where and what did you study?
So I went to the University of the Witwatersrand. I went to Wits, and I did my undergrad in finance and information systems. I did a BCom in that, and I did my honors in information systems.
Cool, thank you.
So just to add on that qualification aspect, so just to highlight how it can vary, I started with human kinetics and ergonomics, completely unrelated to technology, and I ended up in IS. We've got some guys that did chemical engineering that are also now at BSG. So it's really diverse. It's more about the curiosity to technology, really, that leads most of us into IS.
Sorry, Remo, can I add on to that? Actually, I'm thinking above and beyond that, just to show you guys how broad and versatile the range of degrees are. One of our leaders in the technology capability did a degree in human physiology and anatomy, and from that, Kamlesh is now heading technology strategy, and he's actually at the forefront of it. He's doing a great job. So I think it just speaks to that curiosity, as Remo said, and willingness to learn and adapt, which will serve you in good stead going forward, because I think the world we live in is about people that are agile and adaptable. So, yeah.
Okay, cool. So guys, yeah, I mean, I think with the COVID times, it has introduced a dynamic where organizations are kind of having to relook the way they do things, to kind of tighten their belts a bit. From a BSG perspective, we do believe that we still want to continue with our graduate development program. We believe that the young minds that are coming into the companies, exactly what organizations need, to be able to reinvent ourselves in a way that will future-proof our existence going forward. So yeah, we've got our graduate development program that's open. So from a BSG perspective, our GDP is a permanent job offer where we take you through targeted, accelerated training, and then place you onto client environments to start delivering as soon as the first month of joining us. So if that is something that does interest you, do sign up for our GDP, and then our people effectiveness team will kind of be in touch with you in terms of the details that's around that.
Sorry, Remo.
Yeah.
Sorry, thank you for the presentation. But I just have one question. Is the program only for African citizens, or is it also open for international students?
It's open for international as well. So we don't limit in terms of that.
Okay, so if potentially you do get in, you would help with the work permit and everything.
So Zoe.
Yes.
I'll allow Zoe to take that on.
So with regards to the work permit, if you are currently on a study permit, you would be advised to then apply for a work permit as soon as possible if you are not going to be doing your master's next year. So we can assist you with contacts that we do have, but it's up to you to arrange those work permits directly with Home Affairs. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Just to add on to that, to Zoe's point, it also then doesn't limit whether you get given an offer or not. If we do get to a point where we would like to offer you, that will still happen, and we will then allow you time to be able to get that process finalized.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions?
Yes, hi.
Yeah.
Sorry, I wanted to ask, I was looking at BSG's website earlier and looking at the section that refers to the graduate programs, and I see it's split into consulting and technology, where the consulting one refers specifically to honours degrees in information systems, and technology refers to honours degrees with computer science. I was just wondering what the difference between the two programs is and why they are so split between those two degrees.
Yeah. So that's more of a guideline that we follow. You do find that there are some guys, for example, that don't have computer science but would still like to explore technology. So there's technology consulting, then there's business consulting. Technology consulting is more the development aspect of it. From a business consulting perspective, you do have a technical lens, so that we look at like your tech strategy, your architecture work, but it's not necessarily limited to qualification.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Yeah. I think there was one more question. I heard two voices. No? All right. I think if there aren't any other questions, I think that's it, guys. Thank you for your time. I know we did run over. Apologies for that, but I think it was a good conversation that we've had. And if you do have any other questions, you're more than welcome to contact us on our side. And all the best with the rest of the year. I think you guys are going to be trailblazers in doing things differently from an academic perspective. So keep up the positive spirit and the resilience.
Thank you very much for taking the time out.
Thanks so much.
Pleasure.
Everyone for joining us.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot, guys. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon.
You too.
Sorry, it looks like there might be a follow-up question from James.
Yeah?
No, sorry, I was just going to reply saying I'd assumed it might be the fact that technology was more related to the software development side. I was asking just as someone who is more interested in the software development, and especially considering or having looked at some of the differences between information systems at some of the other universities. It seems that we do a fair amount more direct programming as opposed to, like, I know at Stellenbosch them doing more sort of data science-y kind of things. So that was generally what I'd asked. Thank you.
Okay, and has that been clarified for you?
Yes, thanks.
Okay, perfect. Okay, I think that's it then, guys.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Bye.